Hey everyone, and welcome to our next episode of Raid 101. This is actually not just an episode, but the start of a whole series on one of the most mysterious and most important parts of Raid, buffs and debuffs, and a few other effects near the end. Now, there's a lot of ground to cover, so instead of sitting down for an hour to talk about all the fiddly details, we've cut the topic into chunks. First, a quick recap. Buffs and debuffs are special effects that have either positive properties, those are called buffs, or negative ones, those are called debuffs. We'll start with the simplest buffs and debuffs, those that affect your champion's stats. Simple buffs and simple debuffs have exactly the same mechanics, just swapping whether they add to or take away from a champion's stats. Every one of these buffs and debuffs comes in two forms, a lesser version and a greater version that has twice the effect. Here's a good example. Increase ATK buffs come in two tiers, 25% and 50%. That's exactly the value that the champion's attack will be increased by. Oh, and we're talking about their final battle attack stat, which includes all your bonuses from artifacts, masteries, faction guardians, auras, you name it. This number can be massive. But where there is yang, there's also yin. So, decrease ATK works the same way, except it makes the champion's attack stat weaker by 25% or 50%. It can be critical for keeping your champions alive when you're up against a powerful opponent. Increased def and decreased def effects work in essentially the same way, except they affect the champion's defense stats, and they adjust it a little more by 30 or 60%. Check out our video on champion stats to learn more about how defense works so you can know for sure how much of a difference this makes. Oh, also, keep in mind that there are champions whose damage scales based on their defense rather than their attack. If you put increased defense on one of these champions, their damage and their durability will go up. Next up, we have speed. Speed is almost always the most important stat, and increasing or decreasing it by 15 or 30% can literally win a battle all on itself. Check out our turn meter video if you're not sure how. The short version? More speed means more turns, and more turns means more winning. Who doesn't like winning? Next up, something that's useful for everyone, but particularly useful for attackers. This bad boy increases the champion's critical rate by 15 or 30%. That's pretty huge for damage-based champions and as straightforward as they come. Now, you can get a champion to 100% crit chance even without this buff, but sometimes it comes at serious sacrifice in other stats, especially crit damage. If you don't want to have to struggle as much with artifacts, champions with this buff will be your friend. Likewise, the debuff that decreases the target's critical rate by the same values is going to make your champion's lives a lot easier, especially in PvE, as PvE enemies don't have artifacts. Nearly every champion has just 15% chance to crit, so a simple decreased crit rate debuff will turn that chance down to nothing. Next up, well, it's the buff-debuff pair you'd expect, increase and decrease crit damage. You're probably getting the swing of this at this point. Increased crit damage boosts your crit damage by 15 or 30%, and decreased crit damage reduces it by 15 or 30%. Simple. The buff is best used on your attackers who already have a high crit rate, while the debuff is best for PvP. A lot of teams out there are going to have 100% crit rate nukers, and this will soften their punches. You can probably guess what we're going next. Increase accuracy and decrease accuracy at plus or minus 25 or 50%. Now, that's probably not going to kill anyone on its own, but accuracy is how you land debuffs and other nasty effects. As we go through this series, you'll learn how devastating the right debuff can be. And last, but not least, our newest entry to the simple buff section, increase and decrease resistance, also at plus or minus 25% or 50%. This buff and debuff pair was actually pretty late into the game compared to the rest, and there aren't many champions that can use them, but they do exactly what you'd think they'd do. They reduce or increase the target's resistance, which can be huge for stopping debuffs or other nasty effects from landing. If you manage to find one of the rare champions that can put these out, definitely consider building them up. You'd be surprised how often they can make a huge difference, especially at higher tier play. So, those are all our simple buffs and debuffs. Don't be fooled by the basic mechanics. These can be crucial to your success. Hope you guys found this helpful. Hit like and subscribe to the channel. We'll continue this series on buffs and debuffs in the next episode.